Stop being so nice. It is ruining your life. You think your kindness is a virtue, but the world treats it like a weakness. Today, I will reveal why being too available keeps you invisible, and the exact steps to make them respect you without saying a word. I want you to be honest with yourself for just 1 minute. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you were completely invisible? Have you ever spoken, but nobody really listened? Have you ever given your time, your energy, and your heart to people, only to be treated like an option, not a priority? It is a painful feeling. It keeps you awake at night. It makes you question your worth. It makes you look in the mirror and ask, what is wrong with me? Why am I not enough? But today, I'm going to tell you the truth that nobody else will tell you. The problem is not that you are a bad person. The problem is not that you are unlucky. The problem is that you are too available. You are too easy. You are acting like a free sample in a world that only respects what it has to pay for. Welcome to Glaze English. If you are tired of being ignored and you are ready to become unforgettable, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Join us because what I am about to share is not just a video. It is the beginning of your new life. Let me ask you something. Why is it that the hardest workers are often the poorest people? Why is it that the kindest people are often the most disrespected? I used to be that person. I was the nice guy. I helped everyone. I worked the hardest. And yet, I was the one who was left behind. I was confused and angry until I realized that we are raised with a lie. We are told that if we keep our heads down, work hard, and stay nice, the world will reward us. That is false. The world does not pay you for your pain. The world does not pay you for your kindness. The world does not care about how much you struggle. The world only pays you for one thing: value. Think about a diamond. Is a diamond useful? Can you eat it? Can you drink it? No, but it is rare. It is hard to find. It is difficult to get. So people pay millions for it. Now think about water. You need it to survive. It is the most important thing on earth. But because it is everywhere, because it flows freely from the tap whenever you want it, people waste it. They leave the tap running. They don't respect it. Right now, you are the water. You are everywhere. You are always saying yes. You are always there. And because of that, you have become invisible. But it is not too late to change. You are not useless. You are simply unpolished. You have not built your value yet. But starting today, right now, we are going to change that. We are going to turn you from a background character into the main character of your own life. So, we agree that value is the only thing that matters. But how do you actually build it? You cannot just wish for it. You cannot just pray for it. You have to manufacture it, and that starts deep inside you. The biggest mistake I made in my 20s, and I see people making this mistake every single day, was confusing movement with progress. I was always busy. I was always tired. I tried to be a graphic designer one week, a day trader the next, and a writer the week after that. I was running a race in 10 different directions, and do you know where I ended up? Nowhere. I was average at everything, and in this world, Average is invisible. If you want to escape the trap of being ignored, you must understand rule number 2. You must master one high-value skill. The world does not pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you can do better than anyone else. Think about the people you admire. They are not kind of good at 20 things. They are excellent at one thing. Excellence is rare, and because it is rare, it is expensive. Let me tell you about a friend of mine named Liam. Liam was broke. He had no degree from a fancy university. He felt lost. But one day, Liam decided to stop trying to be everything. He picked one skill: copywriting, the art of selling with words. He didn't just try it for a weekend. He obsessed over it. For 6 months, while his friends were at parties, Liam was reading old advertisements. While his friends were sleeping, Liam was writing. He became a scientist of persuasion. At first, nobody cared, but soon his words started making businesses a lot of money. Suddenly, Liam wasn't just some guy. He was a weapon. Clients stopped asking, "How much do you cost?" and started asking, "Are you available?" That is the power of mastery. When you are the best at one thing, you don't chase money. Money chases you. So, pick your skill. It could be sales. It could be coding. It could be video editing. I don't care what it is, but you must promise yourself to become better at it than 99% of the people around you. But here is the danger. You can have the hands of a master, but if you have the mind of a victim, you will still fail. This brings us to rule number 8. You must train your mind relentlessly. Your mind is the container for your value. If the container is cracked, the value leaks out. I used to have a very weak mind. I would let one negative comment ruin my entire week. I would let fear stop me before I even started. I was addicted to comfort. Most people treat their bodies better than they treat their minds. They are careful about what they eat, but they feed their brains garbage. They scroll through social media for hours, filling their heads with jealousy, fear, and drama. And then they wonder why they are anxious. They wonder why they can't focus. You have to take your brain to the gym. You have to train it to be strong. How? By doing the things you don't want to do. When you don't feel like working, work anyway. That is a rep for your mind. When you want to check your phone, put it away and sit in silence. That is a rep for your mind. Read books that are hard to understand. Challenge your beliefs. When you combine a high-value skill with a bulletproof mind, you become dangerous. You become a force of nature. You stop needing people to tell you that you are good because you know you are good. You have the evidence. You have the discipline. And that is a level of confidence that no amount of money can buy. This is the engine of your new life. Build it strong, because we are going to need it for what comes next. Now that you have built the engine on the inside, we have to talk about how the world sees you on the outside, because they will judge you before you even open your mouth. I used to believe that appearances didn't matter. I thought, if I'm smart, if I'm kind, people should respect me. They shouldn't judge a book by its cover. That was a comforting lie. It was an excuse to be lazy. The truth is, human beings are visual creatures. We make judgments in a split second. When you walk into a room looking tired, with a wrinkled shirt, messy hair, and slumped shoulders, you are broadcasting a message. You are telling the world, I don't respect myself. And if you don't respect yourself, why should anyone else? Why should a client trust you with their money? Why should a partner trust you with their heart? This brings us to rule number 6. You must invest in your appearance. This is not about vanity. It is not about buying expensive designer clothes or trying to look like a model. It is about discipline. It is about self-respect. When you take the time to groom yourself, to dress well, to stand tall, you are signaling that you have standards. You are telling the world, I am a professional. I am serious. Imagine two people walk into a job interview with the exact same resume. One looks like they just rolled out of bed. The other looks sharp, clean, and put together. Who gets the job? The sharp one. Not because they are smarter, but because they look like a winner. People want to be associated with winners. So, dress like the person you want to become, not the person you are right now. But visual signals are only half the battle. The most powerful signal you can send is scarcity. This is where most nice people fail. Rule number 1. You must stop being too available. Think about the diamond and the water again. Water is vital for life, but it is free because it is everywhere. Diamonds are useless for survival, but they cost millions because they are rare. Scarcity creates value. If you are always available, if you always pick up the phone on the first ring, if you always say yes to every favor, people will stop respecting your time. They will assume you have nothing better to do. You become the backup plan. You become background noise. You need to become comfortable with the word no. You need to protect your time like it is gold. When you are busy building that high-value skill we talked about, your time becomes a privilege. When you say, I can't make it tonight, I'm working on a project, you aren't being rude. You are being focused. You are telling people that your mission is more important than their entertainment. And in that moment, something shifts. People start to wonder about you. They start to realize that access to you is limited. When something is limited, people want it more. When you withdraw your availability, you create a space for people to miss you. And in that space of missing you, respect begins to grow. You stop chasing them, and they start wondering how they can get closer to you. You become the prize. Once you have established your value through your presence, you must protect it with your silence. Because in a world that never stops screaming, the person who whispers controls the room. We live in a noisy world. Everyone is shouting to be heard. Everyone is posting every meal, every workout, every thought, and every grievance online. They believe that being loud makes them important. They think that if they are not seen every second, they do not exist. But they are wrong. Noise is weakness. Silence is power. I used to be the person who talked too much. I would fill every quiet moment with words because I was uncomfortable. I would explain myself to people who didn't care. I would tell everyone my plans, hoping they would clap for me. But I realized something painful. The more I explained, the less people respected me. The more I talked, the less power I held. Rule number 3. Speak less. Move in silence. Have you ever noticed that the most powerful person in the room is usually the quietest? The loudest voice often hides the weakest mind. Insecure people talk to prove they are smart. High-value people do not explain. They demonstrate. When you speak less, your words become heavy. They carry weight. People have to lean in to hear you. They have to wait for your opinion. And when you finally speak, it lands like a hammer. So, stop telling people what you are going to do. Stop saying, "I'm going to start a business," or "I'm going to get six-pack abs." The moment you announce your goal, your brain gets a hit of pleasure, as if you have already achieved it. And then, you lose the drive to actually do the work. Instead, let your results do the talking. Build in the dark. Let them see the success only after you have already won. Shock them with your execution, not your volume. This silence naturally leads to rule number 4. Build a mysterious aura. In an age where everyone is an open book, privacy is the ultimate luxury. It is the ultimate power move. When people can figure you out instantly, you become boring. You become predictable. And if you are predictable, you are easily controlled. You want to be a puzzle that people are trying to solve. You want them to look at you and ask, "What is he thinking? How did she do that? Where did they go?" This isn't about being cold or fake. It is about boundaries. Keep your private life private. Keep your next move hidden. Don't upload your suffering to the internet for sympathy. When you are mysterious, you occupy real estate in other people's minds. They think about you. They analyze you. And the more they think about you, the more value they assign to you. Be the ocean, deep and silent, not the shallow river that makes a lot of noise but has no depth. Disappear for 6 months. No announcements, no drama. Just go quiet and work on that high-value skill. Then, re-emerge transformed. That shock factor is worth more than 1,000 social media posts. Let the world wonder who you are becoming. Let your silence be the loudest thing about you. You can build a fortress of silence and strength, but if you build it in a swamp, it will still sink. This brings us to the final, and perhaps the most painful, truth about becoming high value. You cannot remain a lion if you insist on hanging out with sheep. Rule number 5. You must upgrade your circle. This is the rule that most people ignore because it hurts. You have friends you have known since childhood. You love them. But look at them honestly. Are they talking about ideas? Or are they talking about other people? Are they building their future? Or are they complaining about their boss? There is a mathematical certainty in life. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your friends are broke, lazy, and cynical, you will be the 6th. If your friends are ambitious, disciplined, and wealthy, you will be the 6th. I remember when I had to make this choice. I had to stop seeing people I loved because they were anchors. They were holding me down. It was lonely. I spent Friday nights alone in my room working while they were out drinking. I felt isolated. But in that isolation, I found myself. It is better to walk alone in the right direction than to follow a crowd walking off a cliff. Do not be afraid of loneliness. Loneliness is not a punishment, it is preparation. It is the price you pay for the new life you are buying. And when you fix your circle, something magical happens. You stop needing things from people. This leads to rule number 7. Don't chase, attract. Low-value people chase, They chase love, they chase approval, they chase clients. Chasing is an act of desperation. It screams, "I am not enough. Please complete me." And the more you chase, the faster they run. High-value people do not chase, they attract. Imagine you are a fire in the middle of a cold night. You do not run around trying to catch the moths. You just burn bright. You burn hot. And because you are the source of heat, everything cold moves toward you. You become the destination. When you focus on your skills, your mind, your appearance, and your purpose, you create gravity. Opportunities will find you. Relationships will seek you out. You won't have to fight for a seat at the table. They will pull out a chair for you. So, here is my final challenge to you. This video is not the end. It is the starting line. You can close this screen and go back to being the nice, invisible person who gets ignored. Or you can decide right here, right now, that you are done with that life. Decide that you will master a skill. Decide that you will silence your voice and let your actions scream. Decide that you will walk away from people who do not serve your future. Decide that you are a high-value individual, not because anyone said so, but because you built it. It is a long road. It is a hard road, but it is the only road worth walking. If you are ready to walk it with me, leave a comment below that says, "I choose value over noise." Let that be your promise to yourself. I'll see you at the top. We have covered a lot of ground today. We tore down the old version of you, the version that was too nice, too available, and too invisible. And we laid the foundation for something new. We talked about mastering a skill, training your mind, sharpening your appearance, and protecting your energy with silence. But before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought that ties everything together. The most profound lesson I learned in my journey from being ignored to being respected is this: you teach people how to treat you. Every single interaction you have is a negotiation. When you answer the phone instantly, you are teaching them that your time is cheap. When you let people interrupt you, you are teaching them that your voice doesn't matter. When you stay in a toxic friendship, you are teaching them that you accept disrespect. The world is just a mirror. It reflects back to you exactly what you believe about yourself. If you believe you are valuable, you will act valuable, and the world will have no choice but to agree with you. Applying this to your life starts tomorrow morning. Do not try to change everything at once. That is a recipe for failure. Just pick one rule. Maybe tomorrow you focus on your appearance. You wake up early, you iron your shirt, you fix your hair, and you walk out the door feeling like a professional. Or maybe tomorrow you focus on silence. You decide that for one whole day you will listen more than you speak. You will not complain. You will not explain your plans. Watch what happens. Watch how the energy in the room shifts. Watch how people look at you a little differently. It will feel strange at first because you are breaking a lifetime of bad habits. But keep going. Value is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It is built in the quiet moments when nobody is watching. It is built when you choose discipline over comfort. Now, I want to hear from you. I want to know where you are starting. Which of these rules do you find the most difficult to follow right now? Is it learning to say no? Is it finding a high-value skill? Is it cutting off toxic friends? Leave a comment below and tell me your answer. Let's have a real conversation in the comment section, because your experience might help someone else who is struggling with the same thing. And finally, if this video sparked a fire in you, if it gave you the clarity you were looking for, please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. It tells me that this content matters to you, and it gives me the motivation to keep creating deep, honest videos like this one. Thank you for watching Glaze English. I will see you in the next video.